Mataji, can't hear you.
Hear me?
Now, yeah.
You can hear me?
Now, yes, yes.
Sideva. Deva Sideva. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Isvatim Vyasam Tatim Jayam Virayat Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki Om Jnanatunandasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurunvalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Vishram Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Vanta Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastite Takta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vachakalpatarubhyascha Kృపాసింధుభ్య cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vistadi Guru Pada Guru Shri Guru Sami Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vistadi Guru Shri Guru Sami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachalini Nirvishesha Shrivadi Pasri Padesha Bhavani Mukham Karoti Vachalam Padhi Rangayati Girim Yaktita Padhi Vande Shri Guru Dinata Hare Krishna. All right, so we are on chapter 15 and we are in text. We should complete this chapter today. It's a short chapter. Let's try it. So we are chapter 12. Sorry, text 12. So this is about the transmigration of the soul from one body to the next. And now let us see what Krishna is describing. Yad aditya gatam tejo jagad bhashayate khilam yad chandramasi yad chagno tat tejo vidhimamakam. Malaji, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Translation: the splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of this whole world, comes from me. And the splendor of the moon and the splendor of the fire are also from me. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The unintelligent cannot understand how things are taking place, but one can begin to be established in knowledge by understanding what the Lord explains here. Everyone sees the sun, moon, fire, and electricity. One should simply try to understand that the splendor of the sun, the splendor of the moon, and the splendor of electricity or fire are coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In such a conception of life, the beginning of Krishna consciousness, lies a great deal of advancement for the conditioned soul in this material world. The living entities are essentially the parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, and he is giving herewith the hint how they can come back to Godhead, back to home. From this verse, we can understand that the sun is illuminating the whole solar system. There are different universes and solar systems, and there are different suns, moons, and planets also. But in each universe, there is only one sun. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse 21, the moon is one of the stars, Nakshatranam Aham Shashi. Sunlight is due to the spiritual effulgence in the spiritual sky of the Supreme Lord. With the rise of the sun, the activities of human beings are set up. They set fire to prepare their foodstuff. They set fire to start the factories, etc. So many things are done with the help of fire. Therefore, sunrise, fire, and moonlight are so pleasing to the living entities. Without their help, no living entity can live. So, if one can understand that the light and splendor of the sun, moon, and fire are emanating from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, then one's Krishna consciousness will begin. By the moonshine, all the vegetables are nourished. The moonshine is so pleasing that people can easily understand that they are living by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Without his mercy, there cannot be sun. Without his mercy, there cannot be moon. And without his mercy, there cannot be fire. And without the help of sun, moon, and fire, no one can live. These are some thoughts to provoke Krishna consciousness in the conditioned soul.
Right, so I think we read that last week. So this is appreciating Krishna through the nakshatra, through the grahas, right? How they're representative of Krishna in the sense that they're maintaining us. Actually, the second canto of Bhagavatam gives a lot of pantheism. I think pantheism. We appreciate God, the Creator, His creation, right? Things called pantheism. So this is one way but it's awakening our Krishna consciousness. So this chapter is entitled The Yoga of the Supreme Person. Purushottam Yoga. Text 13. Gama Vishyacha Bhutani Dharayamyaham Ojasa Pushnami Chaushadhi Sarvaha Sumo Bhutva Rasatmakaha. All right, Shikala. Would you please speak?
Thank you, Hare Krishna. I enter into the each planet, and by my energy they stay in orbit. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. It is understood that all the planets are floating in the air only by the energy of the Lord. The Lord enters into every atom, every planet, and every living being. This is discussed in the Brahma Samhita. It is said that that one plenary portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Paramatma, enters into the planets, the universe, the living entity, and even into the atom. So due to his entrance, everything is appropriately manifested. When the spirit soul is there, a living man can float on the water. But when the living spark is out of the body and the body is dead, the body sinks. Of course, when it is decomposed, it floats just like straw and other things. But as soon as the man is dead, he at once sinks in the water. Similarly, all these planets are floating in space, and this is due to the entrance of the supreme energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This energy is sustaining each planet, just like a handful of dust. If someone holds a handful of dust, there is no possibility of the dust falling. But if one throws it in the air, it will fall down. Similarly, these planets which are floating in the air are actually held in the fist of the universal form of the Supreme Lord. By his strength and energy, all moving and non-moving things stay in their place. It is said in the Vedic hymns that because of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the sun is shining and the planets are steadily moving. Were it not for him, all the planets would scatter like dust in air and perish. Similarly, it is due to the Supreme Personality of Godhead that the moon nourishes all vegetables. Due to the moon's influence, the vegetables become delicious. Without the moonshine, the vegetables can neither grow nor taste succulent. Human society is working, living comfortably, and enjoying food due to the supply from the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, mankind could not survive. The word rasatmakah is very significant. Everything becomes palatable by the energy of the Supreme Lord through the influence of the moon. Hare Krishna.
Yes, so much information, right? Prabhupada is giving us so much information about the creation, moon, where we are getting our vegetables. In this monsoon, the vegetables seem to be very good, right? In the monsoon. Is it true?
Not in
Those
monsoon.
Hmm?
In winter, we get good vegetables.
Winter,
Yes.
we have good vegetables,
Winter.
but
Yes.
during monsoon also you get some nice vegetables. Not bindi that will collect worms. Not what's that? All those green leafy vegetables get full of worms. Your cauliflower, cabbage, horror, right? But others, pumpkin, this lauki, kakri, all these they seem to be good in this monsoon. So why I'm taking this example, because they are juicy. Rasatmakam, right? They are juicy. So the water makes them more juicy. So there is a time for everything. Text 14. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Pranenam Dehamashritah Pranapana Samayuktah Pachanyana Chaturvidham. Yeah, Anupama Mishra.
Hare Krishna. Translation: I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life, outgoing and incoming, to digest the four kinds of foodstuff. Purport: according to Ayurvedic Shastra, we understand that there is a fire in the stomach which digests all food sent there. When the fire is not blazing, there is no hunger. And when the fire is in order, we become hungry. Sometimes, when the fire is not going nicely, treatment is required. In any case, this fire is representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vedic mantras, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 5.9.1 also confirm that the Supreme Lord or Brahman is situated in the form of fire within the stomach and is digesting all kinds of foodstuff Ayam Agnir Vaishvanaro Yo Yam Antah Purushe Yenedam Annam Pachyate. Therefore, since he is helping the digestion of all kinds of foodstuff, the living entity is not independent in the eating process. Unless the Supreme Lord helps him in digesting, there is no possibility of eating. He thus produces and digests foodstuff, and by his grace we are enjoying life. In the Vedanta Sutra 1.2.27, this is also confirmed. Shabdadibhyo Ntah Pratishthan Cha The Lord is situated within the sound and within the body, within the air and even within the stomach as the digestive force. There are 4 kinds of foodstuff. Some are drunk, some are chewed, some are licked up, and some are sucked. And he is the digestive force for all of them.
This is quite humiliating, right? It's saying that you can't do anything. At the end of the day, you can't even digest your food. You like to eat, right? Cook so many nice things, right? Newer recipes combining this, but yeah, you can't digest. How can you be the doer? And if we don't eat, we can't live, right? We are dependent on our eating. And even though you may go, you work very hard, you earn money, you buy the food stuff, you pay somebody to cook the food, you put in your mouth, and nothing happens, right? Nothing happens. Krishna has to make it digest. And if he decides, no, we are not going to digest, then you're gone, right? Indigestion. Speak volumes about eating, right? The control of the tongue. Oh my God. We just click on any YouTube channel, say cooking, millions of recipes are going to come, right? Millions of videos, right? Only about eating, but nobody says who's digesting. Not a single one of them will say who's digesting the food. So, if the child is not taught Bhagavad Gita, how will we know? Right? Just imagine how his life will change. His perception of life will change if he knows that what he's eating is actually the grace of Krishna, right? And whether he's able to digest or not, this is also dependent on the grace of Krishna. So now when you become old, cross your 60s, then the digestion starts to slow down. Meaning Krishna is saying, slow. See, we don't die overnight. The body shuts down gradually. And the first one that goes off is your digestion, right? So when the digestion is going slower, meaning these are the warnings. We say that when we eat, there is a signal, right? The signal when it's over. 3 times, 3rd time, it means finish. You hiccup, right? There's the hiccup. So this is the first signal. 2nd signal say, okay, it's getting full. 3rd signal is a bus. So the natural signal in the body. Right? So now when you cross 60 and the digestion is going, lower and lower, it means that the entire body is shutting down. right? The energy, all the different organs now, they are slowing down and we are going towards death. Right, so text 15. Oh, this is famous. Sarvasya chaham rideshani vishtuh mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedesya sarveraham eva vedyuh vedanta vedavit eva chaham. Okay, Ashwini, you want to read? So if you read Ashwini, you have to explain also. So read very carefully. This is very famous. All right.
Very, very famous verse, Mataji. Translation. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Lord is situated as Paramatma in everyone's heart, and it is from him that all activities are initiated. The living entity forgets everything of his past life, but he has to act according to the direction of Supreme Lord, who is witness to all his work. Therefore, he begins his work according to his past deeds. Required knowledge is supplied to him, and remembrance is given to him, and he forgets also about his past life. Thus, the Lord is not only all pervading, he is also localized in every individual heart. He awards the different fruitive results. He is worshipable not only as impersonal Brahman, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the localized Paramatma, but as the form of the incarnation of the Vedas as well. The Vedas give the right direction to people so that they can properly mold their lives and come back to Godhead, back to home. The Vedas offer knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, and Krishna is his incarnation as Vyasadeva is the compiler of Vedanta Sutra. The commentation on the Vedanta Sutra by Vyasadeva in Srimad Bhagavatam gives the real understanding of Vedanta Sutra. The Supreme Lord is so full that for the deliverance of conditioned soul, he is the supplier and digester of the foodstuff. The witness of his activity, the giver of knowledge in the form of Vedas, and as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, the teacher of the Bhagavad Gita. He is worshipable by the conditioned soul. Thus, God is all good. God is all merciful.
Okay, all right. Explain this section.
Yeah. So it's Prabhupada says that Lord is present in everyone's heart and from him in a form of Paramatma. And he is in. So actually what I understand from this entire para is that he is everything. He is right. It's a very nicely given here in this sentence that the Vedas offer knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, and Krishna is his incarnation. Vasudeva is compiler of Vedanta Sutra. So everything which Krishna is, everything which Krishna is trying to teach us everything through Paramatma. So Paramatma, Krishna has become Paramatma as a localized, he is the one who knows everything. Because of him, we are remembering everything. and we are forgetting also. So all our past lives we have forgotten. That forgetfulness also he has given. That's how we are actually sane. But because that knowledge is given, we start our life with that knowledge. So when we begin our life, that remembrance of past lives of knowledge, not the activities, but the knowledge he gives. And that's how we start our life in the beginning. Remembrance is given by him. He forgets past life because of him. So he awards different fruitive results. He is worshipable. Then he says that whether and he, after giving the facilities, he is to him. So that is, he's so merciful that he's allowed us to come here. He is making everything possible for us to stay in this world in a sane way by forgetting our past lives, by remembering what is required to live this life. And in addition to that, he is giving us all the knowledge through Srimad Bhagavatam and through Bhagavad Gita, so that we can come back to him. So this is how he is made it so perfect for us that we don't get consumed by our past life activities, remembrance of past life activities, and feel very. We must have gone through many different type of experiences in our previous life. So that he's very kind that he has made us forget that and remember only things which are good to live this life.
Well,
This is what I understand from.
here, Prabhupada is saying that the Supreme Lord is situated as Paramatma in everyone's heart. And it is from him that all activities are initiated. All right? It is from him that all activities are initiated. The living entity forgets everything of his past life. But he has to act according to the direction of the Supreme Lord, who is the witness to all his work. Therefore, he begins his work according to his past deeds.
Yeah.
You know, see, now all of us, especially if we have crossed our 40s, it means that we have already done a lot of work, right? Many work we have done. We have behaved in certain ways. We have spoken certain words. We have thought certain things. All right? And if we live for another 20 years, and then you die, where's all your life's thoughts and the result of your work? Where's it gone? Is it just vanish? Obviously, it's going to carry forward, right? When you take birth, obviously, it's going to carry forward. That last 20 years of your life is so crucial. Anyway, this is my opinion. It's so crucial because during those last 20 years of your life, you can rectify yourself. You can think, you can sit and think, what am I doing? What have I done? How I have spoken? And you can rectify whatever you have done during your middle 20 years. Because you could say that it was the age of innocence, when, before your 20s. It was very much the age of innocence, like you didn't know what it is. But your past life desires have become manifested between your 20s and your mid-40s, something like that. And you have enacted your past life desires in that between 20 to 45. All right? Now you have to sit and think, what did I do? Because I have 20 years to rectify. Because after you come to 70, it's gone. You're completely, you're useless. At least in this Kali Yuga. You're useless. Everything is breaking. You forget everything. You become half crazy, senile. You become dependent on others, and then it's so irritating. They do things the way you don't want them to do. Right? You just want to snatch everything away from them. Let me do it myself. Right? So that time before we come to our 70s and we start becoming more and more useless. That time, you could say more or less, is what you will carry forward into your next life. Right? But all the stuff that we have done, between our 0 till 45, does anyone of us remember or attach any importance to what we did between 0 to 45? Is it important to you, Ashwini, how many routes you design in your work? Does it matter to you?
Materially, that becomes, for material person, that becomes very important. That and you cherish those moments. For material person, okay, that is the only time, they after 50s they keep on remembering, keep on delving on those things that that was my past glory. So that becomes a very glorious way of living for material person. And now that we are more interested in spiritual life, now we feel that, oh, we didn't do anything. It's like only whatever spiritual activities, that only we remember. But when I see my friends around, they keep on telling me, oh, I did this, I was that person, I was holding that responsibility, I did that so nicely. So this is,
Yeah.
there are two ways of
But it's,
looking at.
as you just said, it's a past glory, so what's the use of it? You understand?
But you know what? Nowadays, people derive a lot of strength from that to live their future life. And nowadays, there's a new trend that, everybody after 50s are trying to do new adventures in life. So they're clinging on to material life till the last breath.
Yeah. So now what I'm saying is that between 20 past 45, right? We have done so many things. So if we are to reflect, right? If we are an introspective person, if we are to reflect, so between the age of 45 till 65 or something like that, you reflect on what you have done. Okay, these are my glories, fine. So I did this, but what about all the stuff beside that I did? How many people hate me? How did I behave with people? So many things, right? So this time is the time to reflect and correct my attitude. If you're still working till after you're 45, this is the time to start changing, because this is what you're going to carry forward. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, Mataji, I understand it, because you know what? So actually, me and Mala were having this discussion that she was telling me that age of 60, you just nothing matters. What you. So I was not understanding that, and I said, I will. Now you're telling me, but I don't understand that those things matter. But maybe at the age of 60, I will realize, oh my God, what I did wrong with people, because maybe that mode of passion is still there to live the life. So I take it from you that definitely you'll feel like that But right now, as a person, I feel, as you said, you asked me that question, that what did you do from 0 to 45? Yes, I feel very incomplete. I feel, oh, I have not studied these scriptures properly. Oh, I have wasted my time. Oh, my time got wasted. uh, I, I I mean, I have to reread the scriptures again to understand them better.
Yes, so therefore, so that's what we call 45, 50, Vanaprastha, right? So what we call Vanaprastha. So that's why we retire from all the work that we've done, right? And we start to reflect, right? And we are preparing for the next life. And therefore, so now it's the time of a change of consciousness. This time period, that change of consciousness has to happen. Because if you don't change that consciousness, you are going to carry with you what you did during those 20 to 45, 50 years. This is what will get stuck in your consciousness and you will carry it forward. Whereas time is giving you a chance to reflect and change.
So
Not-
Mataji, when you say we have to reflect, rectify, change, Mataji, what all does it mean? One you said is about consciousness, the other you said is about behavior and attitudes.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
So,
yeah. What I'm saying is that maybe at work you were dealing with some set of people, right? But now from this age you're dealing with another set of people, but the habits or the way of behavior of thinking that you were doing during that time, still carrying forward, right? But that's the time of passion, right? That's the peak of passion. So if now we don't change and rectify, then that passion will continue with us. I'm speaking of a reflective and introspective person. So we forget. Krishna
see,
saying here, the living entity forgets everything of his past life, but he has to act according to the direction of the Supreme Lord, who is the witness to all his work. Meaning he forgot what he did. He forgot that he spoke rudely to this person. He forgot that he cheated in this way. He forgot that he usurped somebody else's property. He forgot so many stuff that he has done, right? He's forgotten it. He did it, it's all gone. But the Supreme Lord is the witness to all his work. So the living entity forgets everything of his past life, but he has to act according to the direction of the Supreme Lord. So therefore he begins his work according to his past deeds.
so Mataji, if I have to just analyze this on a day-to-day life. So whatever I did till about the age of 45, the way I ate, the way I behaved with other people, the way I behaved with my subordinates or servants, I have to be introspective about that, because from the age of, say, 45 onwards till the next 20 years, I have to tune my behavior as I want it in my next life.
Yes, because this is it's like you could say beginning is more or less the stage of ignorance and you're learning, right? So you're learning, and what are you learning? You're learning how to dominate the world. And then when between the age of 20 to 45, you're doing your best to dominate the world. But because we're studying Bhagavad Gita, then now it's time to relax, See, we can't help it. Our material nature comes out during that time. Everything comes because you're in the peak of your youth, your energy. You want to make an impression, upon yourself, the world, whatever it is, But then nature is pulling away your energy, right? We just described in the previous text nature is pulling away your energy. So this stage that we call now, I'm giving it a term, Vanapras, is not to sit and think. How am I behaving? How did I behave? And I behaved that way because of my past life conditioning. I didn't rectify in my previous life, and therefore it is continuing now.
Yes, Mataji, got it, Mataji. Understood.
Yeah. So introspection is extremely important, because according to this verse, where we stop, the way we behave, we're going to carry forward in the next life. We forgot what we've done, but the Supreme Lord didn't forget. All right? Let's read it again. Therefore, he begins his work according to his past deeds. Required knowledge is supplied to him, and remembrance is given to him, and he forgets also about his past life. Thus, the Lord is not only all-pervading, he is also localized in every individual heart. He awards the different fruitive results. He is worshipable not only as the impersonal Brahman, the supreme, okay, let's come here, all right. Required knowledge is supplied to him, and remembrance is given to him. And he forgets also about his past life. So, now what's happening? So he forgot about, just like if you change place, you go traveling, you change place. When you wake up, you don't know where you are. Isn't it? You don't know where you are. It takes you some time to realize where you are. Even if you come back home, you're so used, you're so comfortable in your own home. You forget where you are. Then you remember who's reminding you? The Supreme Lord, right? And when you are traveling, you behave in one way. And when you're back home, you behave in a different way. Who is reminding you how to behave? So you pick up where you left off. Right? Let's say you go on a yatra and then you come back home and say, oh, I have to go to work today. Right? Or is it that you continue to be as if in the yatra mood? Right? It's exactly how a life happens. So mysterious. But Vedesha Sarver, no, Sarvasya Chaham Ridi Shani Vishtu, Mata Smiti Jnanam Apohanam Cha. Yeah, so in one sense, it's good that we forget all the things that we have done, If I were to remember each and everything that I have done that has no meaning, yeah, we remember the achievements, right? This is what we are talking about, Ashwini. We were remembering the achievement and happy that I have achieved this. But we didn't just achieve something, we did so many things. See, devotees, because they're working for Krishna, right? When they're working for Krishna, it's always a pleasure. It's an absolute and complete pleasure to remember the things we have done. And we forget all the misery that we went through to do that seva.
Agreed, Mataji. Agreed.
Right? And devotees are not like achievers. I think these are distributed so many millions books. I put, such nice Raj Bhoga, I invented this. I dressed the deity the best. Devotees don't feel like this. They're just happy that they did seva. Right? Utsaha Nishchaya Dharyat. their enthusiasm to serve Krishna never dies. Amazing, you know?
Yes, Mataji. You explained it so good. I didn't realize that, that last 20 years are so important.
Yeah,
So that
you don't.
percent in that 20 years, because after that, after 70, we will not be in a position to do anything.
Yes. Yes. It's our Kali-yuga body, you know. Then you are completely at the mercy of others, what they do with you. Right? Completely, you know. So while we're still alive and kicking, as they say, right?
It's like this is a last chance.
Yeah, the last one. So Krishna gives us opportunity, and as devotees, Krishna gives us the opportunity to execute and enact our desires. And then when we are done, like I see with women, most of the women I have met, by the age of 45, they are done with career. Most. They're done. They really go to work. And 45 is done. And then they drag on. From then on, they're just dragging on. And if they get the chance, they will drop. And if they don't have the chance, then pull them. They have to carry on. It's very miserable, extremely miserable. You know, when you put in so much hope, and speaking of women, you know, you put in so much hope in your earning capacity. And other people will start becoming dependent on you, thinking you're an earning person, you're able to support. Miserable for the women.
So, Mataji, if I understand correctly, that means whatever I did in my life from the age of 20 to 45, it was also a manifestation of the desires I died with in my last life.
Yeah. This is what we were executing. Exactly what we are saying. We are executing all those desires from past life. We are giving them the chance to do it.
So that's why Krishna gave me that body and that intelligence and that platform to do all that.
Was explained. Right, now Krishna continues. By all the Vedas, I'm to be known. Indeed, I'm the compiler of the Vedanta and the knower of the Vedas.
Mataji, please mute yourself. Ashwini Mataji, please
Sorry?
mute yourself. Ashwini Mataji. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you.
You're hearing me? Okay. So, now comes another section. This is about the Vedas now. Thus, the Lord is not only pervading, all pervading, he is also localized in every individual heart. He awards the different fruitive results. All right, that's what we are saying. He awards the different fruitive results. Meaning he give us a chance to enact our desires. All right. And as Anupama Malvi said, he creates the environment. The environment meaning what you deserve, what you're able to get and what you can't get. Right? The modern language is the environment. But basically it is the karma that decides the environment. He awards the different fruitive results. This is the Vedic way of saying it. He's worshipable not only as the impersonal Brahman, the supreme person Godhead, and the localized Paramatma, but, right, but as the form of the incarnation of the Vedas also. So the Vedas is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord. All right? Vedas, the sound. All right? Vedas means Shabda. Shabda Brahman. Shabda is incarnation of the Supreme Lord. The Vedas give the right direction to people so that they can properly mold their lives and come back home, back to Godhead. All right. So that's what we are saying. So now, if during this age of 5 to 20, we didn't study the Vedas, how do you think our last 20 years will be? Zero direction, right? Zero direction. As it is, that middle age, 20 to 45, 50, this is when you are going to give full vent to all your desires, right? And if there is no direction, that's what's going on, right? Zero direction, zero idea of the consequence. Did anyone ever thought that Krishna is digesting my food? Did any teenager think that my food is getting digested by the Supreme Lord, Jatar Agni? Did anybody think about it? No? No, because we didn't study the Vedas. So the Vedas give the right direction to people, meaning starting Kamarat Acharat Pragyo. Right from the age of 5, the child has to learn about the Vedas. Who he is, what is his body, how it's composed, and how to deal with the body. The Vedas offer knowledge of the Supreme Person, Godhead Krishna. And Krishna and his incarnation as Vyasadeva, the compiler of the Vedanta Sutra. The commentation of Vedanta Sutra by Vyasadeva is Srimad Bhagavatam, which gives the real understanding of Vedanta Sutra. The Supreme Lord is so full that for the deliverance of the conditioned soul, he is the supplier and digester of foodstuff, the witness of his activity, and the giver of knowledge in the form of the Vedas, and as the Supreme Person, Godhead Shri Krishna, the teacher of the Bhagavad Gita. He is worshipable by the conditioned soul. Thus, God is all good, God is all merciful. So Krishna is feeding our stomach, all right? Making us grow, having energy, make us walk around. At the same time, he's giving us knowledge, right? So he's giving us everything. So if we go to school only to eat, then what's the use? Right? Everybody goes to school only to learn how to eat. If you don't go to school, you don't earn, you're going to die. Right? And just see how, like I just heard that the economy again is going to go higher and higher, right? Inflation is going more, so many wars are happening everywhere. So everywhere, I don't know what's going to happen here in India. Who's going to feed us? Our money? From where will the food come, right? So all devotees will have to depend on the Supreme Lord, right? Who will feed us? So, if we don't have, so if we believe we only go to school, only to get food, right? Then we'll be in a very sad situation. when no food will come to us, when we won't be able to buy, we don't have, remember, just went down the road to the market and this man asked, how much is this? I think it was, I don't know whether it was coriander or something. This man said 25 rupees. And this man was looking at him, Can he pull out 25 rupees for a bunch of coriander? He just didn't buy it. So all your life, those 5 till 20 or plus that you studied only to earn money to live, at the end of the day, you don't have money to buy your coriander. What will you do with your life? Right? I heard some men, when they can't maintain their family, they commit suicide. They feel they can't maintain their family. Right? Why? Because of ignorance. We are not studying the Vedas, and we are not encouraged to study the Vedas. Okay, the next section. Oh, time is up. Let's just try to complete this. Anta Pravishta Shasta Jananam. The living entity forgets as soon as he quits his present body. But he begins his work again, initiated by the Supreme Lord. Although he forgets, the Lord gives him the intelligence to renew his work where he ended his last life. This is what we've been discussing, right? So not only does a living entity enjoy or suffer in this world, according to the dictation of the Supreme Lord situated locally in the heart, but he received the opportunity to understand the Vedas from him. If one is serious about understanding the Vedic knowledge, then Krishna gives the required intelligence. Why does he present the Vedic knowledge for understanding? Because a living entity individually needs to understand Krishna. Vedic literature confirms this. Yo sau sarve vedere giyate. In all Vedic literature, beginning from the 4 Vedas, Vedanta Sutra, and the Upanishads and Puranas, the glories of the Supreme Lord are celebrated. By performance of Vedic rituals, discussion of the Vedic philosophy, and worship of the Lord in devotional service, he is attained. Therefore, the purpose of the Vedas is to understand Krishna. The Vedas give us direction by which to understand Krishna and the process of realizing him. The ultimate goal is the Supreme Person Godhead. Vedanta Sutra 1.1.4 confirms this in the following words. Tatu samanvayat, one can attain perfection in 3 stages. By understanding Vedic literature, one can understand his relationship with the Supreme Person Godhead. This is Sambandh. By performing the different processes, one can approach him, Abhiday, and at the end, one can attain the supreme goal, which is Prayojan, who is no other than the Supreme Person Godhead. In this verse, the purpose of the Vedas, the understanding of the Vedas, and the goal of the Vedas are clearly defined. So, actually, we have already discussed all this. It's the same point that we've been discussing, that so Krishna is not only giving us food to eat, but Krishna wants us to understand who we are. What is the Vedic literature about? Is to tell you who you are and what you are not. This is the main thing. Who you are, what you are not. And therefore, you decide what you want to do with your life. And therefore, I'm speaking of karma. what you want to do with your life, meaning what karma do you want to do, and what type of results do you want from your work. So if we don't know the Vedas and all the Vedic literature that's enumerated here, we remain in complete ignorance. And Prabhupada is saying, Krishna is saying that he gives us the opportunity to understand the Vedas from him. Right? Like we are reading Krishna's words here, right? And all everything, the purport also is Krishna's words. Because we just read that the Vedas is actually incarnation of the Supreme Lord. So Bhagavad Gita, the verses are given, but the entire purport, these are all from the Vedic literatures, right? So Krishna speaking to us at each and every sentence. So he's giving the intelligence. Like I am saying so many things, and then you're saying, yes, I understand. Who's making you understand? How are you understanding? You know, I'm speaking and I'm thinking, oh, you're understanding. I hope I'm talking. I never thought that, you know, like I'll speak what I just spoke. I had no idea. I didn't plan, you know, sit and write pen and paper and make points. No, it just came out from me. And then, yes, I understand. Who made you understand? Who made me speak, right? Right? And I was so surprised. Oh, yes, I understand. How can you understand something that nobody else is understanding? Right? Krishna is saying, so we are not supposed to only enjoy and suffer in this world. Okay? So, okay, we want to do this. So Krishna said, do. Here's the quota. This is the time. And now I'm giving you the Vedas. Now I'm giving you the opportunity to understand the truth from me. All right.
Mataji, could you please repeat the 3 stages, the 3 words that you said? First is understand his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is Sambandh, you said, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What is the second stage?
Abhiday. Abhiday. The processes, you know, like we do all our sadhana.
Yes, Abhiday.
Abhiday. And then we achieve the goal. The goal meaning that finally you start to understand Krishna. And at the end, one can attain the supreme goal, who is no other than the Supreme Person of Godhead.
So which is, what is the word for that, Mataji? You said
Prayojan. Prayojan.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
As usual, very nice explanation.
Very good. Very good. Panchakalpatarubhascha kripasindhu eva cha patitya. Yeah. So we can see life is not a joke, right? Not at all a joke. Life is, see, the thing is that life is eternal. The soul is eternal and therefore life is eternal. So we finish one cycle of life, you know, in this body, then we take another cycle. So it will go on endlessly. No, so Krishna is giving us the direction how to stop it, so that we can live eternally in one state only, not in this changing state, in one state only, in one body only, in one permanent body. This is the soul body, not these changing states. Anyway, think about it. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.